We're making Indian butter chicken in the Silvercrest Monsieur Cuisine Smart. So this is an easy recipe to follow, has a 20-minute preparation time and should be ready in about 2 hours and 39 minutes. We've got the ingredients list, the instructions, and we can also read the nutrients that this dish contains. Now, if you've got the Monsieur Cuisine app on your phone, this is going to make it a little bit easier when you're out and about to be able to pick up the ingredients that you need for your recipe. You can even add those to your shopping list. So we've got all the ingredients ready and we're going to follow the step-by-step instructions on the cooking pilot. And let's see how it goes. So let's start cooking. Peel 2 garlic cloves and 1 piece of ginger, 2 centimetres. And that we've already done. Put half the ginger and 1 garlic clove cut into halves into the blender jug. We can use the hole in the top to do that. There's the 2 halves. Now press and hold the dial at the bottom part of the screen and then release to stop. We're going to hold it down for 2 seconds. And use the spatula to scrape the pieces down the inside of the blender jug. It's certainly sprayed all up the sides. It has done quite a nice job of chopping those up. Carry out the next step if required, otherwise skip it. And that wants me to do the same again to blend it. But we really don't need to. Use a spatula to scrape down the inside of the jug. Now we've gone onto the scale and we're going to put 150 grams of Greek yogurt into the blender jug. And we've already got that weighed out, roughly. Now add 1 tablespoon of garam masala and a half teaspoon of salt. Garam masala, already measured out, and then just a half teaspoon of salt. Adapted cooking, temperature, time, speed and direction. We're going to need to pop the lid back on. And then press start. Next, we need to decant the marinade into a bowl and clean the blender jug. Oh wow, that looks pretty amazing. We're going to decant that out and then I'm going to clean the jug. I won't bore you with the cleaning and I'll bring you back in a minute or two. So that's the marinade completed. We've washed up the jug and we're now ready to move along. It says rinse 400 grams of chicken breast fillet under cold running water and pat dry. Now here in the UK, we're advised not to pre-wash chicken as long as you're using it straight from the packet. Dice the chicken into 2 centimetre pieces mix with the marinade, cover and put in the refrigerator for 2 hours. So we need to go and do that, and then we'll come back to this in a couple of hours and we'll bring you back. So we're coming up to 2 hours. I just left this to go and do that. Haven't done anything with it, but it's obviously gone into sleep mode. So let's see if we can wake it up. Ah, there we go. Simple press of the button. So we've diced the chicken. It's been in the refrigerator and almost ready. Peel and halve 1 shallot and pop it in. So we've got that here. Put the shallot and the remaining garlic cloves and the ginger into the blender jug. I'll leave the lid on. We're going to press and hold it again for 2 seconds. I'll use the spatula to scrape down the pieces from the inside. We still have a few chunky bits in there. I wonder if it will tell us to do that again. Carry out the next step if required. Ah, yeah, so we're going to blend it again. Use the spatula to scrape the insides. Those shallots are really strong and they're actually making my eyes water. Oh yeah, that's much better. Now add 60 grams of butter to the blender jug in pieces. We've already chopped that up, thereabouts. Remove the blender jug, remove the measuring beaker from the lid. So I'm assuming it wants the lid back on. The lid's off. And now it's going to roast for 2 minutes, speed 1. Turning left at 100 degrees. Press the start button. It does need a firm press. And off we go. So we can see a bit of smoke coming out of the top there. That's obviously frying up those shallots, garlic and ginger. There we go, complete. So let's continue. So put 1 tablespoon garam masala, salt. So we've got our spices. We've got 1 tablespoon of garam masala. I can just about get that through the hole. Half teaspoon of salt. Not a tablespoon, otherwise that would be a lethal dose. Big pinch of cumin. We want the salt and the pepper, cumin and the chili flakes in here as well. So we've got the pepper and the 2 big pinches of chili flakes. It is a little bit messy trying to put things through the hole. You can always take the lid off if you need to. Some spices. Now back onto the scale. Add 250 grams of tomato puree. Now I'm not going to get through the lid. It's just going to be easier to take it off. Otherwise, we'll literally end up with that everywhere. or I will. Now I already measured that out, but if you take the lid off, you'd need to tare the scales again. Insert the measuring beaker into the lid. Now that's gone back onto the adapted cooking. It's going to be 100 degrees, running for 2 minutes on speed 2, turning right. Let's go. It's just telling me now that the pot is hot. Okay, we got that. So that step is completed. Put 1 tablespoon of lemon juice into the blender jug. So about a tablespoon. Now we've gone back onto the scale. We're going to add 200 grams of room temperature coconut milk. Now again, I'm not sure I'm going to get it through the hole, so I'm going to remove the lid. It is hotter now, so I'm going to be careful with that. If you've taken the lid off and you need to weigh your ingredients, don't forget to tare the scale. That's our coconut milk in. We'll pop the lid back on. It says add 1 tablespoon of tomato puree. I can do that through the gap in the top. Pretty simple. So it's gone back to adapted cooking, 0 degrees, 10 seconds, speed 4, turn right, and we've popped the measuring cup back into the lid. So we've got the warning. It says high speed and dangerous when the pot contents contains hot ingredients. So make sure it's completely stopped before we open the lid. There we go. Pot is hot. Okay, we've got that. So we're not going to open that lid, and I can still hear it moving inside. I'll take the meat out of the refrigerator and add to the sauce. Let me go and grab that, and it'll give this a chance to fully stop. So we've got the chicken out of the fridge. It says add it to the sauce. Now that is super hot, so I've got my heat-proof mat there. Here we've got the marinated chicken. Smells absolutely amazing. Everything has gone nicely in there. I'll give you a little peek. So that's what we're looking like at the minute. And I think we're on to the cooking part. So we've got our entire list of ingredients in there now. Let's lock that lid back on. Adapted cooking, 100 degrees. It's going to run for 15 minutes on speed 2, turning left. Let's go. So that's the Indian butter chicken in the Monsieur Cuisine Smart. So we followed the exact recipe and completed all the steps. I'd say it's an advantage if you do have the phone app, because then you can check the steps ahead while the appliance is working for you and be ready for what's coming up. Now this was a pretty easy recipe to follow, and this appliance makes it extra easy because it selects the modes automatically for you, and you're able to skip forwards or go back steps pretty easily, and you can even adapt your ingredients to your own taste. Now this is definitely more for the novice of the kitchen, not really for the experienced cook, or maybe if you're just really busy and need the extra help in the kitchen. I'd say that this is a pretty honest butter chicken, full of flavour and has a really nice texture, and definitely one that we'll make again. But watch out for our next recipe. Not sure what it will be yet, but hopefully we'll get another one on here soon. Thanks for watching.